Or should we wait? Hello, everybody. Happy November, and welcome to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. It's the PlayOnSports.com pregame show live from Patterson Field in Pleasanton, California. I'm Michael K. Smith, also known as Mike on the Mic to many of you fans that have followed me throughout Play On Sports this year or KBC Sports in years past. And I am on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup features the visiting Foothill Falcons against the host Amador Valley Dons, and we'll be right back, folks. Or should I say, actually, no, we're not going to take a break. The band right now is just playing their song. I thought they were going to get into national anthem, but not quite yet. So like I said, folks, tonight's matchup, we have the visiting Foothill Falcons against the host Amador Valley Dons. It is the Battle of Pleasanton, a rivalry that goes back quite some time. And, Amador Valley was the first school here, established in 1923, according to signs outside the stadium. Foothill came around, I believe, in 1967. I'll have to check the exact year, but I believe that's when Foothill was established as a school. Both teams come into this game with records of 5-4 overall, 3-2 in East Bay Athletic League play, and both teams have coaches that have coached their respective programs for 20 years plus. So now it's time for the national anthem. We're going to take a quick breather and come back. That is going to be it for now. So, folks, please come back with us. Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com will resume in just a couple of minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com. Once again, coming to you live from the city of Pleasanton, California, East Bay, Tri-Valley action. And you know what? What a national anthem. I know you guys might not have heard that on the radio. It was even hard for us to hear here in the booth as there was no microphone for the singers. I thought it was going to be the band, in which you could hear pretty loudly without microphones, to perform the national anthem tonight. But instead, they did what I thought was a really cool idea. These two teams, like these two high schools, I'm telling you, they are rivals in the city of Pleasanton. They're separated by the field as far as their fans. You have Foothill on the away side and all of their blue and gold. And then, of course, you have the Amador Valley here on the home side in front of me in the press box, and they're all decked out in their purple and gold. But what was really neat is for the national anthem tonight, they had students of both schools coming together, singing the national anthem in great harmony, and for that you really got to applaud the two schools for having that kind of pride and putting rivalries aside and combining for a real steering and just great performance of the national anthem tonight here at Patterson Field on the campus of Amador Valley High School in Pleasanton, California. And, reasonably so. I was talking to the head coach for the Amador Valley Dons before the game, that being head coach Rick Sierra, and I asked what this game meant to the team, the Amador Valley players, and he said, of course it's a rivalry. They want bragging rights to see who the top dog is of the city of Pleasanton, and for the last 7 years, that title has gone to the Foothill Falcons. But, these guys, don't get it twisted. They are still good friends outside of school. Yes, the rivalry does exist here on the field, but a lot of these kids were neighbors with each other, grew up together, played Little League sports with each other, and so they are still good friends off the field as well. And so, and like I said, it definitely showed in the national anthem tonight. Right now you have the captains coming onto the field. Foothill being represented by two guys only, that being Ray Hudson, who has just been a phenomenal receiver this year, and of course, the always steady, always positive yardage back, Griffith Gates. And then for Amador Valley, they send out four captains, that being their quarterback, Kyle Moreno, running back, Sam Peters, Nate Vickers, an offensive lineman and defensive lineman out there, along with Jesse the Tank Cerdas, another offensive lineman and defensive lineman tonight for the Dons. Like I said, these teams have identical records, both 5-4 overall, 3-2 in East Bay Athletic League play. Their wins in league play all coming against the same schools. Foothill and Amador Valley both are beating the same competition in Monte Vista, which were upset wins for both schools, Granada and Livermore. Of course, they've even played similar non-conference teams as well, one to be exact, and that's the Freedom Falcons of Oakley, California, which was my rival school growing up. I went to Liberty, and our rival game, which is being played tonight, known as the Bell Game back home. Like I said, this one known as the Battle of Pleasanton between Amador Valley and Foothill. And Amador Valley upset Freedom in the opening game of the season right here at Patterson Field. Freedom, a team that was really picked to kind of be the surpriser team that would compete with De La Salle for the D1 ranks. I mean, they have everything you can ask for as far as a good quarterback in Dante Mays, good running back in Joe Mixon, and good receiver in Darrell Daniels. And Amador Valley upset them 29-27. And then, of course, had a disappointing loss the game I broadcasted out at Concord High School the week after, losing 16-10. Foothill lost to Freedom in their game earlier this season, losing 41-28 at home. Amador Valley will be kicking off to start this contest. The Foothill Falcons will be receiving the kickoff. All of the Dawn squad on their feet in front of me here. And the purple and gold, excited, hoping that this could be the year where they reverse what has been a 7-year trend of the Foothill Falcons winning the Battle of Pleasanton rivalry, and they do a good job on the coverage of the kickoff early. Making the tackle for Amador Valley is Jimmy Ferreira, senior defensive back and running back, and so the Falcons will start at their own 15-yard line, and they're led by Kyle Kearns, the quarterback. Get you Kearns' numbers as soon as I can, but they're pretty good. He's thrown for 220 yards in his last 3 games each. Right now under some pressure as the quarterback, and he kind of sidearms a pass to his fullback, Griffith Gates, in an attempt of trying to get away from a sack. The pass is incomplete. He does not get brought down, so he did beat the sack pressure there from the Pleasanton Purple People Eaters, as I like to nickname them. That defensive front, so strong for the Dons. But yeah, Kearns, 124 of 214 on the season, 1,593 yards, 18 touchdowns compared to 11 interceptions. And this is a quarterback who is only a sophomore, has been thrust into the starting role since the beginning of the season. Head coach Matt Sweeney really likes what he sees out of his signal caller here on 2nd and 10. It's a handoff to senior Griffith Gates, and like I said, always surging forward on runs, and this time no different. Picks up about 5 yards on that carry. Griffith Gates in the backfield. He'll be the starting fullback. Joining him in the backfield will be the junior Jameer Holland. Gates, 121 carries coming into this game for 652 yards and 7 touchdowns. The steady back. Don't know where he's going to be going to school yet. He has had some interest from schools such as Sac State. And here on a 3rd and long, Kearns passes intercepted by Amador Valley, and he gets in for the touchdown. A pick six on a 3rd and long for the Amador Valley Dons. With only 11:02 still remaining on the clock here in the first quarter. A score for Amador, and they lead 6-0. And it was Grant Miller who made the interception and took it back for the score. And now he is receiving his props and praise from the Don squad. The fans fired up, sitting next to their band, playing the Notre Dame Fighting Irish fight song after they score their touchdowns here at home. The kick from Kevin Nags is up and good. And like I said, striking rather early and first, I should mention, are the Amador Valley Dons. A pick six, a ball that was intercepted at around the 35-yard line. Kearns completely misfiring his intended target. And the ball just seemed to end up right into the hands of Grant Miller. And Grant Miller with exceptional speed, racing down the near sideline and getting into the end zone right at the pylon. And the referees that were close to the end zone signaling that he did make it in the end zone past the pylon before going out of the end zone. And so the score stands 7-0, courtesy of an interception taken to the house by Grant Miller, a senior defensive back who was listed as a top returner coming into the season by the Contra Costa Times in their 2012 high school football season preview. And he's a guy that I'm sure is going to be looked at as a first-team all-league receiver. He has made some plays, especially in last week's contest, was one of the athletes of the week this past week for the Contra Costa Times. And Kevin Nags with a deep kick here. The returners bump into each other for Foothill. And what a tackle as well! This time the tackle's made by number 21, Hawk Becker. What a great name for a football player. Number 21 racing down on the coverage and bringing down the returner for Foothill in a hurry. And so the Foothill Falcons will start from deep in their own territory once again. They will start at around their own 14-yard line. Receivers split on each side. It's an I formation behind the quarterback, Kearns. The give goes to the speedy Jameer Holland, who takes it to the right side of the field, near side towards us, and tries to twist and turn, looking for gaps along the near side. And it was a pretty nice run picked up by the speedy junior back, as Holland picks up about 7 yards, maybe 8 on the carry, making for 2nd and short. Jameer Holland, who saw a lot of action last year as a sophomore and was pretty good. I think he was an honorable mention back last year. Checking my stats, yeah, all EBAL, actually first-teamer on the defensive side of things. And on 2nd and short, the Falcons will hand off to their fullback, Griffith Gates, who doesn't pick up a lot of yardage there. Might have picked up a yard. Actually, he picks up 2 yards, but it'll be 3rd and inches. He came up just shy of the first down marker. Back to Jameer Holland, however, for this year. 60 carries coming into this game for just over 400 yards at 401 to be exact. 4 touchdowns on the season. And he's also contributed nicely in the pass game for the Falcons with 24 receptions, 214 yards, and 4 touchdowns. 3rd and short, Twins to the far side. Offside I. And it's Griffith Gates getting the ball handling duties, taking the handoff from his quarterback, Kearns. And Griffith Gates pushing forward with his legs and picking up the first down. And so the Falcons moving at their pace now. They like to run the ball to set up the pass. And then that first drive, I think they just got out of rhythm. There was a lot of pressure coming at Kyle Kearns. They went with the run play the first game. He had a dial down, or actually pass on the first play, run on the second, and then was under so much pressure on the third, he threw the pick six, and that's how we have the score 7-0. here 1st and 10. It's Jameer Holland on a sweep to the left side of the field, far side. And Holland once again getting some blocking ahead of him and moving with pretty good speed down there. And another 8-yard jaunt for Jameer Holland will make for another 2nd and short for the Foothill Falcons. Other specialty players joining Kearns, Gates, and Holland. Can't forget Ray Hudson, one of the captains. An all-league receiver right now at this point. Big number 11. Has committed to the University of California, Berkeley. And it's Gates, who looked to be stopped initially in the backfield on a 2nd and short. Bounced off a couple tackle tries and just fell forward for a 1st down. Griffith Gates so strong. 6'3", 235 pounds. So Gates responsible for some 1st downs here in this 2nd possession for the Falcons. 1st and 10 now at their own 36-yard line. It's Kearns and shotgun with pressure right away. Ball is tipped, and it will be incomplete. Sam Peters getting in the backfield and causing some problems for Kyle Kearns in his pass attempt. Substitution right now on the field is Nate Vickers will leave the field, and coming on to replace will be Ross Sanzari. But yeah, Ray Hudson, big target. Still hasn't caught a pass yet, but at 6'4", 235 pounds, we will be calling his name a lot tonight. He's one of 3 receivers on the field as Kearns drops back to pass, and then at the last moment, hands off for a delayed draw play there. And it's Jameer Holland getting the draw and taking it between the center and left guard gap for a good gain of yards there. He picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and 4 for the Falcons at their own 42-yard line. Decisions for Matt Sweeney and his offense here. A lot of pride on the line tonight between the two Pleasanton rivals. Blue and gold versus purple and gold. Another 3-receiver set for the Foothill Falcons. It's Kearns with a short drop back, fires to the left side, and I believe completes the pass to his receiver, that being number 1, Kyle Anderson. Make that Ryan Anderson, a junior receiver, 6'2", 175-pounder. And he will be the main target next year after Ray Hudson departs. A 1st down pickup for the Falcons. Ball near the 50. It's at the 48-yard line of Foothill, still in their own territory. Holland moving around and now gets set on the left side. It's Kearns and shotgun, nearly fumbles the snap, but does gather it in time and then fires a dart out to Ryan Anderson. So 2 straight catches for Anderson, who after making the catch tried to shake a couple of defenders for the Dons, but they were ready for his juke moves. So he didn't pick up too much yards after the catch, but from where he caught the field, it is good enough for a 1st down, and now puts Foothill into the Amador Valley side of the field at the Amador Valley 40-yard line. No partner tonight, so you're going to hear a lot of my voice. Hopefully you guys don't get annoyed by it. I formation behind Kearns here on a 1st and 10. It's Holland moving to his left. And a tackle made pretty early by number 53, that being, or number 57, Mitchell Mayo, a top returner and senior. And the band doing a rendition of a song made famous by Mac Dre. I'm not going to say the name of the song, but it's a very famous song. At least it was pretty popular when I was in college, about 4 years prior. 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard pickup by Holland at the Amador Valley 38-yard line, and Kearns goes down. He was looking to the near side for Ryan Anderson once again. Actually, Ray Hudson was who he was looking for along the near side, and he did not get the ball out in enough time. Should have threw it out of bounds, and he was brought down. The Purple People Eaters of Pleasanton really doing a good job early of penetrating the offensive line for Foothill and causing a lot of pressure for Kearns whenever he drops back to pass the ball. He's already threw an interception, which went for a pick six, and now here on 3rd and 13, he's firing to the left side of the field, and do we have another interception for the Dons? I think we do. They're signaling interception with their hands on the field, and yes, another interception thrown by Kyle Kearns, the Foothill sophomore quarterback, who is getting his first taste of the Battle of Pleasanton as a varsity player. And so far has thrown 2 interceptions that have killed drives. And now it gives Amador Valley a chance to come onto the field offensively for their first time tonight. It's Kyle Moreno in shotgun set with a dart across the middle to his favorite target, that being Grant Miller, the man who made the interception and took it to the house after after the Falcons' first offensive possession gone bad. And this time, for the Dons' first offensive possession of the game, it's Moreno to Miller. The pass gets them into Pleasanton territory now, as the ball will be downed at the Foothill territory. Foothill 42-yard line is where the ball is spotted. Once again, it's Moreno in shotgun with one back behind him. And he gives it to the back, that being Alejandro Apodaca, who twists and turns to the outside of his right tackle and picks up 5 yards on the carry. Alejandro, also known as Alex, a senior, 5'10", 175-pounder. And so the Dons, with a lot of momentum on their side so far early in this game. Approaching 4 minutes and 20 seconds here left to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 5. Moreno once again in the shotgun set. Quick pass out to the left, which is caught. But then the tackle was made just as quick. The catch on the field was made by Parker Newman. And then the tackle was made by Nick Mendonça for Foothill. So Newman, who didn't pick up a gain of any yardage. Like I said, Mendonça was there in a hurry to make the tackle. It'll be no gain. And so now 3rd and 5, 4-receiver set. Moreno in the shotgun. 2 receivers to each side. The back being used as the blocker, that being Apodaca. It's a screen pass set up for the receiver, Justin Cruz, who comes close to a first down. He'll be just shy. Ball placed at the 34-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 1 for the Dons, and Rick Sierra, head coach of the Dons, opting to go for it, as it would be a 50-yard field goal try, and he's deciding that's a little too deep. First time we've seen Moreno not in shotgun, right under center. Quick handoff, and the Foothill fans hooting and hollering as if their team made a good 4th down stand. However, no official call has been made by the referees, and I think they're going to call for a measurement on the field. And no, they will not call for a measurement on the field. They believe they got a good eye of the play. And yes, the Falcons defense does make a 4th down stand. So it'll be a turnover on downs, and the Falcons will come back to the field offensively. I'm joined tonight by our producer, Omar Lewis, and our videographer, Hans Webb. Once again, you are listening to PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. And Foothill will hope to make it third time's a charm offensively. A handoff here for Foothill on 1st and 10 goes to Isaiah Langley, another sophomore who has seen some considerable time this year. His first year on varsity, one of the top newcomers to this team, and has really impressed me at times. And he picks up 3 yards to make for 2nd and 7. Ball placed at the Foothill 36-yard line. Once again, Kearns under center with the receiver to each side. Offset I. Kearns firing to his left and completes a pass to Ryan Anderson. So Anderson, I believe, has caught every pass so far on the night from Kyle Kearns. And Anderson pushed out of bounds just before picking up the first down, so it'll be 3rd and 1. Anderson will depart from the field after making the 6-yard reception. And so Foothill definitely seems to be running at the moment by taking Anderson out. Twin set. One of the receivers comes across in motion from left to right. That being Isaiah Langley, and then he gets the handoff on the fly sweep pattern, which is quite familiar for the Dons because that's the kind of offense they like to run when they run the ball. Or at least that's what they ran back when I covered them a couple years ago. I think they made the switch this year from a fly sweep-oriented offense to more of a pistol set. But Isaiah Langley does pick up the first down on the fly sweep coming from left to right. And a good play to kind of catch you off guard. I wasn't really expecting that on a 3rd and short from Foothill. Again, man going across in motion. This time they don't run the fly sweep with them. That was Ryan Anderson. They set up a tight end screen for Jack Finney. Well executed by the Falcons. And Jack Finney will get the Falcons back into Amador Valley territory. Just as the case for the Falcons in their previous offensive possession, which ended poorly with an interception from Kearns. But right now, things looking good for the Falcons in their 3rd offensive possession, as the tight end screen good for 9 yards. 2nd and 1. 3 receivers on the field for Kearns and his offensive teammates. And it is Kearns with a pass that looked to be off the mark, but a great catch made on the far side. Ray Hudson going down low and scooping up a pass that I thought was going to drop incomplete in front of him, but Ray Hudson really reaching out his long arms and making the grab. Like I said, he's a big guy, Hudson, 6'4", 235 pounds, committed to the University of California. Coming into this game, 50 receptions for 710 yards and 7 touchdowns. And there, he really makes a phenomenal grab on a ball that I thought was not the best thrown ball by his quarterback, Kearns. Another screen setup. This time it's a fullback screen for Griffith Gates, who has blocking in front of him, and then just trucks a couple of defenders en route for some extra yards. And Griffith Gates now gets his Falcons into the red zone as that fullback screen good for almost 20 yards, and it gets the Falcons into the Amador Valley 16, or into the Amador Valley 20 at the Amador Valley 16. Receivers split on each side. Offset I. Give coach to Jameer Holland. Make that Isaiah Langley, who takes the handoff to the right side, but there was plenty of purple bodies there to meet him for a loss of a yard. The Foothill Falcon fans trying to get loud and fire up their team. They're happy at the moment that the Falcons have pushed the ball inside the Amador Valley 20. That's the first time they've done that tonight. Like I said, their first 2 possessions ended with interceptions. On a 2nd and 11, Kearns firing for a receiver there, that being Ray Hudson. And that pass overthrown and out of bounds. And so that will be it for the first quarter of play here from Patterson Field in Pleasanton, California, on the campus of Amador Valley High School, where the Amador Valley Dons at the moment have a 7-0 lead here in front of their hometown fans on senior night. So we'll be right back. I'm going to give you an advertisement here, and it goes something like this. Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. And how about another one, folks? PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here. Once again, Michael K. Smith giving you the play-by-play and a little bit of analysis along the way. Couldn't have been possible without my producer, Omar Lewis, and my videographer, Hans Webb. Second quarter will start shortly. Talk about Ray Hudson, or at least I've been talking about him so far. His name is on the 2012 Cal State game, which is a California All-Star game, which will pit the North and South. So a good honor for him. 3rd and 11 as we're back from the break to start the second quarter. Kearns, who had some blocking, but just, I don't know, I guess the clock went off in his head that he had to get rid of that ball. And the pass was not on the mark. Incomplete, fires a skipper that bounces on the turf and goes out of bounds. 4th and 11 coming for the Foothill Falcons. Ball placed at the Amador Valley 17-yard line. And with the way that the first two drives have gone, not getting any points on the board, both interceptions. Head coach Matt Sweeney's going to play the safe bet and line up for the field goal. He's in the middle of the field. Nico Caro's kick is up, and Nico Caro's kick is good. Splitting the uprights and finally getting the Foothill Falcons on the board to make this a 7-3 score now here. And that's the right call, I think. You know, you got to get points on the board, especially after the first two drives ended in interceptions, with the first interception being taken to the house for a score. It gives the Foothill Falcons just a tiny bit of momentum. I still think the momentum right now residing in the hands of the home team, Dons. You know, I covered both team seasons while working for Jeff Kurtz, who is the vice president of PlayOn Sports, the company in which this game is being broadcast on. Before he had his own company, KBC Sports, in which I had worked for him for 3 years. And in my first year working for Jeff, I covered the 2009 varsity season for Amador Valley Dons. It was a special season. And then last year, I covered all the Foothill season in 2011. A short pooch kick for the Falcons. Grabbed, or should I say caught, by Amador Valley's number 47, Dominic Ashley, but he is brought down in a hurry. He picks up 2 yards on the return. I didn't think he was going to get any. And so the Dons will take to the field for their second time tonight. Ball at their own 35-yard line. Kyle Moreno is their quarterback, senior, has committed to the University of Brown, an Ivy League school. So Kyle Moreno not only athletically gifted, but also very smart. And he completes a bullet on the first play of this possession. And Grant Miller makes the catch. Grant Miller, who has played a big role in this game, he was the one that intercepted that ball and took it to the house. He also had a big catch in the first offensive possession for Amador Valley, which was their last offensive possession. They never scored out of that, but it was about a 35-yard pass play, which put the Dons into Foothill territory. And on the previous play, it was a handoff for the Dons. And the ball carrier picks up the first down for the Dons, moving the ball to their own 47-yard line. Kyle Moreno's numbers on the season coming into this game, 140 for 267 with 1,772 yards, 15 touchdowns compared to 10 interceptions, and he can also run the ball. We'll get you those stats in a minute. He runs the ball right now, so it's a good thing I alluded to that. He faked the give. I thought he had handed off on a quick handoff to his running back, but instead he keeps it himself. Very Colin Kaepernick-esque on that play, and like I said, head coach Rick Sear running that pistol. It does remind me a lot of Nevada and how they play their offense. Creates for a very fast tempo, and Moreno picks up the first down with his legs. Good thing I preluded that. Before this game, 49 carries, 226 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground for the senior quarterback. Shotgun set, takes about a 2-step drop back, and completes another dart to Grant Miller. Really has a lot of zip on his ball tonight. Kyle Moreno, who has been the starting quarterback since his sophomore season for the Amador Valley Dons, and has yet to beat the crosstown rival Foothill Falcons. And you could just tell the way he's throwing the ball tonight that he's going to try to do everything he can to change that and finally get his first win against the Foothill Falcons. Handoff up the middle goes to Jimmy Ferrara for minimal gain of yards. But yeah, Kyle Moreno looking very precise on his passes so far early on in this game. And like I said, they've had a lot of mustard on him. He really put them in there with a good-looking spiral and a lot of velocity. A 1-yard gain picked up on the run by Ferrara. 2nd and 9. Shotgun set. Moreno looking to his left. Now goes deep down the middle of the field, and the ball is in and out of the hands of Kyle Greenan, who has been nicknamed Sure Hands by the people that write the Amador Valley articles online on their athletic website. They have a couple of interesting nicknames for their players. Kyle Greenan, known as Sure Hands. Josh Pease, known as the Energizer. James Clark Kent Moore, that's a good one. I don't know where that one comes from. I like Jesse the Tank Serdos. That's anytime you have a guy who's nicknamed the Tank, you know he's bringing it on the field. 3rd and 9 for the Dons, and before the play can get going, whistles blow. And so we'll see what that's all about. The Amador Valley Band playing around and getting the cheerleaders fired up. And it'll be a false start against the Dons, so that'll back them up 5. And now create a 3rd and 14 for the Dons at the Foothill 31-yard line. So they are in scoring territory, if you will. Moreno in the shotgun has 3 receivers to his disposal, 2 of them to the near side, 1 to the far side. And now Moreno throwing another deep ball, this time down the far sideline. There was contact made between Sam Peters and the cornerback covering for Foothill. That was Trevor Mays, the safety in coverage. But no call is made. Seemed as if the fans wanted a pass interference call. But the refs letting these two teams kind of jostle with each other down the far sideline. An incomplete ball makes for 4th and 14. Coach Rick Sierra attempting to go for it at the moment, and now we'll call a timeout with 9 minutes and 2 seconds left to go in the second quarter, as he'd like to think about it some more, as the Dons, who had the ball in their first offensive possession, which was a possession prior, got in a 4th down situation in Foothill territory at around the same yardage and went for it. It was a 4th and short. He went for it, and the Falcons' front line stood up tall and made the play, tackling the ball carrier early for the Dons and taking away that first down opportunity from them. Turning the ball over on downs was Amador Valley, and so they don't want to be in that situation again. They could attempt a field goal. It would be a 48-yarder for Kevin Nags, who is a junior, but Rick Sierra wanting to go for it. He feels that he's in better position to do that instead of trying to go for the field goal. Moreno under some really heavy pressure, but luckily things open up in front of him, and so he will just bring the ball down and run with it. And Moreno should have the first down. And Moreno will have the first down. Moreno in a shotgun set, 4 receivers on 4th and 14. Took about a 5-step drop. Couldn't find anyone open. He was under some pretty heavy duress. And then there was just wide open space in front of him. And so he did the smart thing. Tucked the ball down and ran with it towards the near sideline and picked up the first down. Gives the ball straight ahead to Sam Peters. Peters does not pick up a lot of yardage on that run play. It'll be 2nd and 10. But yeah, Moreno doing what I've always urged Alex Smith to do as a Niner fan. If nothing's open, you have the speed, you have good legs. Bring that ball down and run with it. Moreno does just that, a play a go to extend this drive and keep their chances alive for getting another score. Receiver screen set up for Grant Miller, who makes the catch and is taken down while slipping. It seemed as if he lost his footing on the turf. And then there was kind of a late hit right after he was already down. Once again, no call made. No gain picked up on the receiver screen to Miller. And so it'll be 3rd and 10 now for the Don squad. And here we go, Don's chant, started by the parents. Not quite gaining a lot of momentum, but it gained a little bit. And the mother starting it will take a bow. 3rd and 10 here for the Dons on their own 16-yard line. Once again, it's Moreno looking across the middle, then fires to the left for his second option. And that ball nearly picked off. That throw nearly picked off. Ray Hudson going up high, 6'4", linebacker for Foothill, going up high. And I believe getting his hands on it, deflecting it a little bit. It did go through his hands for the incompletion. And so now, as the Dons are a little bit closer, this time on 4th and 10, Rick Sierra will attempt the field goal try. Kevin Nags lining up from the near side, right side hash for what would be a 33-yard field goal. Kevin Nags' kick is blocked by Foothill. And Nags will make the tackle on Cody Shields, who picked up the block. He blocked the kick and recovered the block and started to run with the ball. And so Cody Shields with the return out to the Falcons' 35-yard line. And now the Falcons sideline erupting in a lot of loudness, and they're fired up as maybe the momentum swinging into the Falcons' side a little bit. It is the Dons with the 4-point advantage, 7-3. Just over 8 minutes left to play here in the first half. And the Foothill Falcons getting their own chant going. Kearns dialing a deep ball, and he has thrown his 3rd interception of the night. Still on his feet is the return man for the interception. And making the pick this time was Hawk Becker. And the Hawk, looking like a ball hawk on that play, steps in front of a deep post route there by the Foothill Falcons. Kyle Kearns staring down his intended target the whole time, and that allowed Hawk Becker the chance to make a good break on the ball, step in front of it for the interception, and get a nice lengthy return. There was a penalty after the interception return, and that will be a holding call against the Dons on the return, but the interception will stand. Like I said, it's the 3rd interception of the night thrown by the sophomore quarterback Kyle Kearns of Foothill. nerves starting to really rattle the youngin, playing in his first ever Battle of Pleasanton as a varsity starter. And so Amador Valley out on the field for their third time tonight. Offensively, I should say. And they run the ball this time for a gain of 3 yards. Amador Valley with their own version of the We Believe shirts. They look very similar to the Warriors' We Believe shirts, only they're purple instead of that bright gold. It'll be 2nd and 7. Shotgun set for Moreno. And a quick deceptive handoff as he faked as if he still had the ball, dropping back. But he did hand the ball off to the ball carrier, which was number 30, Alex Apodaca. And Apodaca, with good steam ahead of him on that run, does pick up the first down. Gets the ball out to the Foothill 45-yard line. And so Amador Valley has now made it into Foothill territory in each of their first 3 drives tonight. And they are keeping things going this time with a pass intended for Justin Cruz, and it's caught. Cruz makes the catch and then is pushed out of bounds. And I'm surprised that the Foothill fans the Amador Valley fans, not jumping up to the hole. Any kind of player with the ooh sound, usually, you know, Victor Cruz, for instance, they'll say Cruz, or Juan Uribe, the ooh Uribe for the Giants a couple years back. I'm surprised these fans really haven't gotten the Cruz chant going every time Justin makes a catch. Maybe it's taken a while for them to get to that. I just thought that was standard in sports nowadays if you had an ooh-sounding name. 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard pickup by Cruz, and Moreno looks for Cruz once again. This time sails the ball over the head of his intended target. Cruz falling back, trying to make the catch. And it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Dons at the Foothill 39-yard line. And now the Amador Valley Band playing the music from Rocky, motion picture Rocky. I always like listening to see what different kind of songs the bands will play throughout the night. Big range from Mac Dre to the theme song from Rocky. And here on 3rd and 4, a delayed handoff goes to Apodaca. And Apodaca shifting right, then left, then back right, kind of making a zigzag lightning bolt type of pattern running the ball there. He picks up 3 yards on the run, and so he'll be a yard shy of the first down. It'll be 4th and 1. Moreno looks to be in shotgun set, and now is slowly easing his way under center with an I formation slightly off to the right of him. He fakes the give to the man going across in motion, that being Grant Miller, and then fires a pass out to the right side. Actually lobs a pass up, really, I should say. That had a little bit more touch on it, and it was complete to Kyle Greenan. And so this time, Sure Hands does show off his sure hands and makes the grab for a first down. I almost thought as if he was going to break free for a touchdown, but he must have been tackled by the shoelaces there. And so now the Dons are inside the red zone. Ball at the Falcon 14-yard line with 5:35 left to play before the first half. They do enjoy, they're currently enjoying a 7-3 lead. Handoff to Apodaca, which started up the middle and then veered off to the right side of the field behind the right guard. Matt Louie makes the tackle for the Falcons. It'll be a 2-yard pickup for Apodaca and the Dons. 2nd and 8. This time trips to the left and one receiver to the right, near side. Apodaca the lone back behind Moreno in a shotgun set. Moreno looking for Miller and throws one to Miller, which was aiming for the corner of the end zone. There was some contact down there in the end zone. Was a flag thrown? I believe so. And yes, pass interference called against Foothill. Grant Miller was grabbed in his attempt to try to catch the pass from his quarterback, Moreno. They're going to say the ball will be placed half the distance from the goal, which will now create a 1st and goal for the Dons. Ball at their own 5-yard, or at the Foothill 5-yard line. So the sticks have been laid to the field on the far side. Moreno, even though he's close to a touchdown, still in the shotgun set here on 1st and goal. Handoff to Apodaca, and Apodaca is hit pretty hard right away. He barely bounced off that tackle attempt and stumbled forward for maybe a gain of a yard. It'll now be 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line. Greenan, the receiver to the far left. Grant Miller, the receiver to the near right. 2 tight ends set with one back, that being Jimmy Ferrara. Quick snap goes to Ferrara, who punches it in. Another score for Amador. And they now lead by 10 points, 13-3. And there goes the Notre Dame Fighting Irish fight song. (13-3). Extra point on the way from Kevin Nags. Kick is up, and the kick almost blocked, but he does get it off in time, and it does split the uprights for the successful extra point try, now making an 11-point advantage. 14-3 is your score. Clock stopped with 4 minutes and 5 seconds left. The Amador Valley Dons here at home, Patterson Field, Battle of Pleasanton rivalry, and they have the lead. PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter now, folks. Yeah, that's right. We've caught up to the social media game. We give you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Like I said, Amador Valley trying to put a 7-yard slump, or a 7-year slump in the rivalry to an end. They lost 21-7 last year at Foothill. They lost 13-3 back in 2010, the last game played here at home. And a kickoff, a very shallow one for Amador Valley. Pleasanton returns it and Foothill returns it and gets it out to their own 30-yard line. But Moreno, I guess, is just continuing the trend of sophomore quarterbacks to play in this game, because when he was a sophomore 2 years back, he had 3 interceptions. Kearns comes onto the field for Foothill with his 3 interceptions, hoping that those are the last of the interceptions he throws tonight. And he almost threw a 4th. The Dons have really done their homework in scouting Kyle Kearns, a sophomore quarterback for the Falcons. They have put him under a lot of pressure tonight and have forced him to throw inaccurate passes, 3 of which have been picked off, and that was nearly a 4th. Ball incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Falcons. Kearns under center, and will keep it himself on an option to the right side of the field, far side. Kearns, who almost fell, but still managed to stay on his feet as he was rushing to his right, trying to get outside of his lineman. And Kearns did keep it himself, and I don't know if he picked up any yardage there on the run, but there was a holding call on that previous play. Holding against Foothill. And so that'll definitely change the complexion now of what was 2nd and 10. Will now be 2nd and 20. Fans still filing in here to the Amador Valley side of the field. I didn't think they could pile any more fans onto the side, but a lot of standing room here. They have standing room tickets there on the south side, the south end zone. A lot of fans stand up and lined up behind a barricade there. And so a timeout will be taken by the Falcons. That's their first timeout taken in the first half. Each team now with 2 timeouts remaining. But yeah, to continue on meetings between both schools in the past 8 seasons, it is Foothill with a 7-1 advantage in this rivalry game. Like I said, they have won 7 straight since the year 2005. 5 of these games for Amador Valley have been games in which they've lost and because of that got knocked out of the playoffs. Foothill has outscored Amador Valley 170-96 in the past 8 meetings. And 2 of those 5 seasons were teams that could have made the playoffs. We just don't know for a fact. 3rd and 20. It's Kearns rolling out to his left, just throwing up a duck that is picked off by Amador Valley for a 4th time tonight. And actually, it was a different quarterback on the field who threw that interception. Parker Bryan is now the new quarterback, a senior, 5'11", 185-pounder. Matt Sweeney taking the timeout and thinking, I have to change my quarterback here, as my sophomore has just not been up to the task tonight. He does just that, puts in the senior backup Parker Bryan, and things looking the same as Bryan just floated one up to no man's land, just threw the ball up, and that made for an easy interception, as all Amador Valley had to do was just pick that ball up in the sky, drift under it with a jogging kind of pace, and get underneath it. That's like a punt return, real easy. I shouldn't say punt return's easy, but maybe a kick return a little easy. But, I mean, it was right there. I have to get you caught up on who made the interception. I didn't see who made the interception for Amador Valley. But the Dons, once again, have the ball back on the Foothill 43-yard line. Deep pass down the middle of the field. Ball is hung on and caught by Cruz after taking an absolute whack by, I believe, Trevor Mays, the safety. Cruz sure did get popped after hauling in that catch, but just a great catch by Cruz, man. Great hands to hang on to that one. Good concentration. Tough kid. Now creates a 1st and 10 for the Dons at the Foothill 17-yard line. Handoff this time goes to Michael White, I believe. And yeah, Michael White, the ball carrier, his first carry of the night, a junior. And now he'll come off the field and onto the sidelines, take off his helmet, get a breather. Josh Hardy thought it was Hardy time for another play, but he is taken off after that play. He was used as the blocker there for White. A yard pickup on White's run makes 2nd and 9. Moreno, slight roll, right side, pass is up, the pass is caught in the end zone. A touchdown for the Dons. Another score for Amador. Grant Miller. And so a touchdown for Amador Valley. Extra point up and good by Nags. 21-3. And I sure wouldn't have predicted this score. I don't think if you ask anyone that they would have predicted this score, that the Amador Valley Dons would be in cruise control over their rivals who have beaten them 7 straight times in their annual meeting. And it was Parker Newman, actually, who hauled in that pass from Moreno. And now the cheerleaders, who are going to do 21 leg ups to represent how much points they have on the board. Their legs must be getting tired, but they do have the smiles on their faces. 21-3. And this game nowhere near over. We still have 2 minutes and 11 seconds left to play in the first half, and then a whole nother second half. But CalPreps.com had this one predicted 21-20 in favor of Foothill. They thought it was going to be a close game between these two schools, and like I said, there's still time for that. But right now, the game looks to be a rout for the Amador Valley Dons, whose defense has stepped up and really made these quarterbacks for Foothill look like garbage tonight. And now a chance for a big return to change the momentum for Foothill. And the Falcons get a pretty good return. Fans haven't had much to cheer about tonight for Foothill, but they're sure cheering and waving their yellow pom-poms in the air right now. Their gold pom-poms, wearing their blue shirts. And that return for Foothill gets into Amador Valley territory. Ball at the Amador Valley 43-yard line. Twins to the near side for Kearns, who drops back and then hands the ball off on a delayed run to Jameer Holland. Holland charging forward with steam through the left guard, left tackle gap. Picks up 5 yards, and now the Foothill Falcons are in a hurry-up kind of tempo. With only 1:41 left, 2 timeouts. Kearns with another short drop back. This time throws a pick. Another interception, and this one looks to easily be taken to the house. He's down to the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Dons! Another score for Amador. Another pick 6 for Amador. And this is just not right, not fair. Kyle Kearns has now thrown his 4th interception tonight. 5 interceptions in total thrown by the Foothill quarterbacks and made by the defense of the Amador Valley Dons, 2 of which have been taken to the house for touchdowns. Extra point up and good by Nags. And this game has now been taken to a 25-point differential. 28-3. It's all Amador right now in this 2012 version of the Battle of Pleasanton. Folks, stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com halftime show, where I'll go over the first half stats, bring up some things worth note. Brandon Crawford for Foothill, a World Series champ. So Foothill at least feeling good in that aspect, at least that one of their alums is a World Series champ. And maybe with due time, Crawford will bring the ring around and/or trophy. Well, he won't get his ring till next year. But bring the trophy around. And like I said, that's coming up here at halftime following this first half on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. It'll give my producer Omar Lewis and videographer Hans Webb a chance to take a break. Got the cheerleaders here for Amador Valley. They're getting ready for their halftime show. I believe some representatives of Foothill also getting ready for their halftime show. The fans on their feet for Amador Valley. And they're all smiles. Why not? Their team has a 25-point lead. And right now, at the moment, looks to possibly snap a 7-year skid in this Battle of Pleasanton rivalry. The kick coming, and it was moved up quite a bit due to an unsportsmanlike penalty called against Foothill after that touchdown. So an easy touchback off the boot of Nags will bring the ball out to the 20-yard line for Foothill. They'll have a minute and 27 seconds left to operate a potential scoring drive. Things don't look too promising, however. They have thrown 5 interceptions. They do have a field goal, but Foothill Falcons have not come out onto the field the way they have come out in games, in prior games in this rivalry, in games so far this season. This might be their worst series of play this season. As far as coming out flat, that's I guess the big word I can use to describe Foothill's offense, flat. 2nd and 10, Kearns throwing an out route and completing it. Coming across from right to left is his tight end, Jack Finney. Finney makes the catch and picks up a teeny bit of yards there. Or no. The chain gang not moving their sticks, so I guess that out route was not caught for any yards gained. As the Dons defense doing a good job of wrapping up on Finney as soon as he made the catch. A minute 17 left. It's going to be 3rd and 10 for Kearns, who's in a shotgun set with 4 receivers. He gets away from pressure, still on his feet as he rolls out to his left. Now lofts one up for Ryan Anderson, who I believe made the catch, but was he pushed out of bounds? Did he establish footing in bounds before falling out? Actually, that was Ray Hudson, who went up high, made the catch, but did he drag his feet in bounds first before going out? And the referees are signaling no, he did not. It'll be 4th and 10 now after that incomplete pass to Hudson. And the Falcons are forced to punt. It'll be the receiver who nearly caught that previous pass, Ray Hudson, who will go back to punt the ball for the Foothill Falcons. Punting from his own 5-yard line. Amador Valley not lining up for a block, and Ray Hudson with a sky-high punt that sticks around in Falcons territory. Doesn't get past the 50, so, I mean, I don't know if you want to call that a good punt or not. I mean, it was good in that there was no return, but didn't really have the distance that you would have liked as far as backing up Amador Valley as far as you could. He went with the sky-high, end-over-end route that stuck in the air for quite some time and bounced and then kind of started to fall back towards the Falcons side of the thing, so they downed it quickly. So now the Dons have the ball in good position at the Falcon 42-yard line. Handoff up the middle despite some moving around from Justin Cruz, who came as a receiver in motion into the backfield. But it was just a straightforward give for the Dons. A flag is on the field. We'll see what the call is going to be. It'll be a holding call against the Dons, which now puts the ball behind the 50-yard line, and the Dons are now in their own territory at their own 48-yard line. Still plenty of time to get another score, but clock is ticking at 50 seconds down. Moreno, shotgun set, moves back, backpedals about 2 yards, and then gives the ball off to his running back, Apadaka, who is lined up in the backfield with him. Just took about 2 steps back as if he was creeping backwards, very slowly, very gingerly, and then gave the ball off to his running back mate, Apadaka, and now head coach Rick Sear will call a timeout, stopping the clock with 37 seconds. Second timeout taken by the Dons. So they have one more timeout remaining if they so choose to use it. 28-3 is the score. All Amador Valley out in front. And the Foothill fans trying to do whatever they can to fire up their team, getting the Let's Go Falcons chant. And the Amador Valley Don Squad fan faithful realizes that. And now they're saying, anything you can do, we can do better. And so they get the Let's Go Amador chant going. And it's Justin Cruz on a little misdirection, taking the handoff. A fly sweep coming around from near side to the far side. And the receiver, with very good footwork, very good pace on that run, picks up a huge gain to make it 3rd and 7 now. It was a 2nd and about 23, or 2nd and 20, and a 13-yard pickup on the reverse, or a fly sweep run, I should say, by Cruz. Shotgun set for Moreno, has 2 receivers here to the near side, which is towards us in the booth on the right side. And a dart completed along the near side to his man coming across. Or I should say doing an out route. He was one of the receivers lined up near side. That was Parker Newman, who has a touchdown tonight. And Newman makes the catch and then gets out of bounds. Good awareness there by the receiver to stop the clock. So it'll be first, not only will it be first down for the Dons, but they have the ball now inside Foothill territory once again at the Falcon 28-yard line. Moreno giving instructions to his teammates out on the field. 3 receiver set with Apadaka lined up to the right of him. And it is a shallow receiver or running back screen that was picked off by Foothill. And now they have a chance to make it a pick 6 as they're racing down the far sideline. 1 man to beat, that's the quarterback Moreno, and he does shake Moreno free of a tackle attempt, and is an interception return for a touchdown for Foothill. And there is a flag on the field at the 50-yard line. Maybe a holding on the return. That's the only thing I can think of with the flag placed where it's at. Right now the score stands 34-9. The touchdown is good at the moment. And now the ref signaling that it was a defensive holding against Amador Valley. And so the touchdown will stand with 7 seconds left before the half. And so now each team taking interceptions to the house. For Moreno, it's his first interception thrown tonight. Nico Caro to come up for the extra point attempt for the Foothill Falcons, and his kick is up and is good. So he now has 4 of the 10 points for his Falcons tonight, a field goal, and now an extra point try makes the score 28-10. And that has been the story of this first half. One word, interceptions. More thrown by Foothill tonight compared to Amador Valley. 5 overall for Foothill. Only 1 thrown by Amador. Each team, like I said, has taken an interception for a score. This one, the nicest return out of all 3 interceptions taken to the house by both teams, is this one involved a really good shake by the returner for Foothill. I still don't know who it was that made the pick. I'm going to have to get that information as soon as I can. But he did a good job as it came down to mano-a-mano between him and the quarterback, Moreno, who ran down to chase him after Moreno made the intercept, or threw the interception. And he shook Moreno free of the tackle attempt. And it was Trevor Mays, the safety, who made the interception and took it 60 yards plus for the score. Actually, make that 80 yards plus, because the Dons were inside the red zone. And now the Falcons lining up for an onside kick, which bounces around on the turf and then is scooped up by the Dons just inside their own 30-yard line. Clock stopped with 5 seconds left to go before halftime. Like I said, folks, I will have a little bit of a halftime show. It won't be immediately after this 5 seconds goes up. We'll take a break, play some advertisements. I might get something to eat, and then we'll come back and give you a little bit of a halftime show. Both teams, no matter what happens tonight, will qualify for the North Coast Section Division I playoffs, as Amador Valley just takes a knee and will head into their locker room very happy with the score on the board, which sits at a 28-10 margin in favor of the Dons. A wild score, which was 7-3 at one point in time. An interception on the first possession for Foothill created 7-3, or 7-0, and then Foothill on their second possession got down, threw another pick, and finally their third possession was what landed them points, got a field goal to make it 7-3, and then Amador Valley with 21 unanswered to make it 28-3 before Foothill finally got a touchdown of their own to make it 28-10. But like I said, we'll break that down in the halftime show, folks. So I'm going to take a break. Like I said, that will conclude the first half of play with the Amador Valley Dons leading the Foothill Falcons by a score of 28-10. We'll be back in a few moments with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show, so don't go anywhere. It's Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
long shot this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PlayOnSports.com halftime show coming to you from Patterson Field in Pleasanton, California. I'm Michael K. Smith, and our halftime score is the Amador Valley Dons leading by a score of 28-10 over the trailing and visiting Foothill Falcons. Amador Valley right now in control of ending a 7-year skid in the rivalry, the Battle of Pleasanton rivalry. They haven't won since 2004. Here at home, 21-17 was a score back in that game, and they have lost every meeting since then. And right now they're in control with their 18-point margin, and they will get the ball to start the second half, which makes things even better for the boys in purple and gold. Here's how the scoring went in the first half. It was Foothill who got the ball to start off start the game. They threw incomplete on the first play, ran second play, tried to throw on the third play on a third down, and Kyle Kearns, a sophomore quarterback, making his first ever start for the varsity squad in this Battle of Pleasanton rivalry, got rattled by some nerves and some good pressure and threw an interception which was taken 37 yards, returned all the way into the end zone to make it 7-0. That was how the first quarter would end. Then in the second quarter, on Foothill's third offensive possession of the game, they made it third time's a charm, not with a touchdown, but with a field goal to make it 7-3. That was with 11:51 in the second. Then Ferraro would get a 3-yard touchdown run for Amador Valley, which would start a string of 21 unanswered points. That made it 14-3. Then Newman with a 16-yard touchdown catch from Moreno's throw with 2:11 left in the second quarter made it 21-3. And then Newman picked off a pass from Kyle Kearns. Kyle Kearns had thrown many interceptions in between. The first one returned for the score, and that second one returned for the score. The second one made for his fourth interception of the evening, returned 67 yards for a touchdown with a minute 07 left to go in the second quarter. That made it 28-3, and then the Dons intercepted the ball, or the Dons threw their own interception with Trevor Mays picking off a Moreno pass deep before the half would end and taking an 82-yard interception to the house, going the length, almost the entire length of the field to make it 28-10, and that was how the scoring ended. Sorry, there was not much of a halftime show. The lines were kind of long. I had to get something to eat. They had a bunch of sweet treats here at the stadium, in which all the money went towards a good cause. It went towards people, needy families in Africa that are starving, and so I had to support something like that. And I gave them a more of a donation, and they said, take as much of this candy as you like. And so it was like Halloween all over again, even though we're 3 days removed from the holiday. And on the first play from scrimmage here in this second half offensively for Amador Valley, Moreno's pass intended for Grant Miller goes off the hands of Miller and is picked off thanks to a diving, sprawled out attempt. Or no, they're going to say it was incomplete. No, yes, it was an interception. So, yeah. The interception was made. A sprawling attempt. Laying flat out for it and getting the pick was Foothill. And so now they'll get the ball back. 1st and 10 at the Amador Valley 38-yard line. And it's Gates, the fullback, churning his legs and moving forward for a gain of decent yards. A 5-yard pickup from Gates will make 2nd and 5 for the Falcons. Ball at the Dons 33-yard line, I formation, and the running back goes to the man who's dotting the I in the backfield, the furthest back, that being Jameer Holland. And Holland getting upfield with great tempo. Very shifty, very fast. Pushes the ball beyond the first down marker for his Foothill Falcons. About a yard or two past where the first down yardage was needed. And so now Foothill gaining a little bit of steam. They had that interception taken to the house right before the half. And an interception here on the first pass of the second half from Moreno. So he's thrown 2 overall tonight. And after the first down, Foothill elected to go with a handoff to Jameer Holland, but the refs blowing their whistles and stopping that play from gaining any kind of serious momentum, and they're going to call a false start penalty against the Falcons. The Dons with some Nike shirts that say "just dawn it" instead of "just do it." And on the back it says "we make it look easy." Pretty cool little slogan there. 5-yard penalty makes for 1st and 15 for the Falcons at the Amador Valley 32-yard line. Tight end screen set up for Finney, who makes the catch and tries to spin move his way out of a couple tackles, but Amador Valley sure-handed in their grips on Finney. And despite spinning, he was eventually brought down just at about where he made the catch. It might be, well, it's a 2-yard gain picked up on the tight end screen, as it'll be 2nd and 13 now for the Falcons on the Amador Valley 30-yard line. Twins set up to the left, one receiver to the far right. And it's Griffith Gates swinging out of the backfield and doing a little circle route. Makes the catch. And Gates surges forward for a nice pickup there. He'll be 3 yards shy of the first down as he picks up 10 yards on that reception. So 3rd and 3 for the Falcons, just at the Dons 20-yard line. I formation. It's Jameer Holland reading his blocks, waiting for things to develop, and then shooting out like a cannon. Out on that far side hash mark, just around his left tackle, or right tackle, I'm sorry. And now the fans getting another Amador chant going. It'll be 1st and 10 after the nice run from Holland at the AV 11-yard line. Falcons looking to punch it in for their first offensive touchdown of the night, if possible. It's Jameer Holland once again getting the the ball handling duties. And Holland hovers around the right side of the field and picks up 3 yards. 2nd and 7 now for the Falcons. Nice night weather-wise, not too cold here in Pleasanton. A dark sky. And it's Kearns who is brought down for the sack. Nice little gang effort there by Amador Valley, as they had 2 guys combined for the tackle, Nate Vickers and Kyle Greenan. Nate Vickers, the defensive lineman, going down low and wrapping Kearns with his legs. Meanwhile, Kyle Greenan hitting him up high, and the combination made for a quarterback sack. A loss of 5 on the sack now results in a 3rd and 12 for the Falcons. Ball placed at the Dons 13-yard line. A man in motion for the Falcons. One receiver out there, and it is Ray Hudson, I believe, who makes the catch and scores a touchdown. And a very well-designed play there by Matt Sweeney and the offensive coordinators for Foothill. A nice little arrow route a deep arrow route ran by Ray Hudson, and as soon as he made that cut towards the pylon, Kearns' pass was en route. Hudson makes the catch and then just bodies his way into the end zone. And so, like that now, what was an 18-point game is now turned into only an 11-point game. 28-17 is Nico Caro's extra point is good. And so the Foothill Falcons now have collected their first offensive touchdown of the night. And that drive wouldn't have been possible without the interception. By the Foothill Falcons off of Moreno's first pass attempt. The first play ran here to start the second half. Try to get you some updated scores, not only around the East Bay Athletic League, but also from other games in the PlayOn Sports Network tonight. Right now, Foothill getting ready for the kickoff. And Nico Caro's kick is high. A returner has to run up and get it for Amador Valley, and he's still on his feet as he breaks away through the first set of tackles. And I believe that was Grant Miller on the kickoff return. And now the Don Squad fan faithful chanting, "We bleed purple." And so the Foothill fans, of course, will fight back with "We beat blue." And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dons at their own 47-yard line, and whistles blow. We'll see what the penalty is all about. As for my old alumni, Liberty losing 41-0 at home in the Pregame rivalry there in Brentwood. And they run up the middle after the 5-yard penalty on a false start for the Dons. And it'll be a gain of 3 picked up to make for 2nd and 12. Parker Newman will come off the field for the Dons. Meanwhile, Moreno went to the sidelines to retrieve the play and now runs back onto the field, or has ran back onto the field, relayed the message to his team, and they're ready. Moreno in the shotgun set. 2 receivers to the near side. Moreno rolling out to the right. He's looking for one of those receivers, and he has a receiver, and he completes it to Justin Cruz. Cruz, who just seems to be cruising along, has had himself a pretty good game tonight. He returned the first interception of the game for a 37-yard touchdown. I thought that was Grant Miller on that interception, but it was Justin Cruz. He has made a lot of deep catches tonight. Him and Moreno have connected on a lot of deep throws. Trips now bunched over to the far side. Miller, the lone receiver on the near side. Moreno hands off to his running back there, which this time was Josh Hardy. And Hardy picks up a gain of 3 yards. De La Salle playing Cal closely right now. 21-7 is the score. I should say Cal is playing De La Salle closely. De La Salle does have the lead. Cal, a team that neither Foothill nor Amador Valley could get past this season in EBAL play. Moreno on 2nd and 7, looking for the end zone. And overthrows Grant Miller, who just ran a straight go route along the near sideline. So it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Dons. Valley Christian, a game that's being covered on our PlayOn Sports Network, has recovered a squib kick. And then 2 plays later, Weichel ran it in from the 18-yard line. So they're only trailing Salesian 27-21. That was with 11 minutes, 35 seconds left in the third quarter in that contest. Twins here to the near side, one receiver to the far side for Moreno. One back, and that's Apodaca, who slightly moved in the backfield, but no calls made. And a throw to the far left side, which was a bit underthrown, having to come back and make the nice catch there was Kyle Greenan. Greenan doing a good job of realizing that that throw from Moreno was going to be short. And so he started jogging back for the ball and made the catch, sliding down to a knee. Greenan picks up the first down. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dons at the Foothill 12-yard line. They're knocking on the door once again, trying to get their big-time lead back. And a run up the middle goes to Apodaca. And Apodaca bounces off some tackles on the delayed handoff and gets into the end zone. Another score for Amador. And it's now 34-17. Dons. And the Amador Valley Dons will now attempt. Oh, actually, the touchdown seems to have been negated and called back, as there was a holding call on that touchdown run. So take that back. So it'll back them up 5. They'll do a redo of the first down. It'll be 1st and 15, ball at the Foothill 17-yard line, and the touchdown gets taken away from them. Moreno with a handoff this time to Jimmy Ferrara. Ferrara with not a lot going on that run. No gain at all. It'll be 2nd and 15. Another score in the East Bay Athletic League. Monte Vista and San Ramon with 9:56 left in the third quarter. Monte Vista 21-17 leading in that one. Castro Valley and Berkeley had a score of 13-6 at halftime. Castro Valley leading. And Demarie Lane, the D-Train Lane, left that game with a lower left leg injury, so hopefully he's okay. Got to watch him in the San Leandro versus Castro Valley game earlier this year at Castro Valley for PlayOn. And he looks like a really good back. And on 2nd and 27, after a holding call, backed up Amador some more. Moreno was flushed and just had to quickly get rid of the ball, as the Foothill Falcons front line was getting up there and causing some ruckus. Third and 27 is now the new situation for the Dons. Ball at the Foothill 30-yard line. 2 receivers near side, 2 receivers far side. So a 4-receiver set with Apodaca the main back. Delayed give to Apodaca. Starts up the middle. Now runs to his left side. Still on his feet and is pushed out of bounds near the first down marker. So a very healthy run there by Apodaca. And they've dialed up that delayed draw a lot here in this offensive drive. It's Apodaca who started up the middle, running behind his center and left guard, and then just split out to the left side. He picks up 23 yards on that run. And it'll be 4th and 8. And Kevin Nags will come in to attempt a field goal. Has the ball down at the 18, which means a 35-yard field goal coming. Or actually, ball at the 10, which was a 27-yard field goal on the way from Nags, but it is blocked, and Foothill recovers. So actually, that's the second blocked field goal tonight by the Foothill Falcons. And so they're still kind of just sticking around in this one. Not completely out of it yet. Clock stops with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Amador Valley does have an 11-point lead, but Foothill getting some key stops here in this second half. 1st and 10, backed up at their own 10-yard line. Receiver screen on the far side is caught by, I believe, Ryan Anderson. Actually, it was Ray Hudson who made the catch. 6-yard pickup will make for 2nd and 4. And this time Foothill runs the ball on 2nd and 4. And they give it to their big beast of a back, that being Griffith Gates. And Gates not only picks up the first down, but runs for some more yards after the fact and really does a good job with that big run of getting the Falcons out from inside their own 20. Now the ball is at their own 30-yard line, which makes a huge difference. They feel they have a little bit more room to work with. They're not so suffocated down there near the end zone. And it's Jameer Holland with the handoff from the quarterback Kearns, trying to zigzag his way up the middle and through to the right side of the field, but Don's defense steps up in a hurry and tackles him right as he gets to the offensive line. So it'll be no gain as Holland tackled near the original line of scrimmage. Under 4 minutes here in the third quarter. Amador Valley leading by 11, 28-17. Kearns firing for the right side, and that pass over the body of tight end Jack Finney. 3rd and 10. Trying to find other scores from games that were being played on PlayOn Sports. Not seeing any right now. But we'll see what Foothill dials up here. Like I said, 10 yards is needed on this 3rd down conversion with the ball at their own 30-yard line. Three receivers set with a wing back along the right side, used as a personal protector for Kearns. Kearns completes an out route, a deep out route to his favorite target, Ray Hudson. Hudson, not only with the sure hands, but also good awareness to know that he had to get past the sticks on that play and runs his route past the 1st down marker. Makes the catch before being tackled out of bounds. And so, the Foothill Falcons drive stays alive. This time Hudson lined up near side, along with Jameer Holland. It's Kearns, flushed out to his left, getting away from pressure, and then fires a ball at the ground. And I don't think they're going to call intentional grounding because he was outside of the pocket. I can't quite make out what the Foothill fans are chanting now, but they are chanting something in an effort to fire up their team, who now face a 2nd and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Kearns in shotgun set with backs to each side, and was once again put under some good pressure, but this time by Michael White. And so he had to get rid of it. The intended target was Jameer Holland, who was coming across on a running back in route. But he cannot hold on to the ball, which slipped through his hands. And so now it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Falcons with the ball at their own 42-yard line still. Langley, the receiver here near side. Ray Hudson, I believe, is far side. Shotgun set for Kearns, and the whistles blow. And so it's a false start penalty against the Falcons. So that'll back them up 5. And now the Amador Valley fan faithful, the Don squad, getting the Let's Go Dons chant going. 3rd and 15 for the Falcons. Ball at their own 37-yard line. Can they get another first down conversion or third down conversion in this drive? It's Kearns dropping back, has some blocking, and now is sacked. Kyle Kearns goes down to the turf hard, and still holding on to him is Jesse the Tank Cerdas, who makes the sack. Got tangled up with Kearns on the ground. And so Kearns, who has just not had a good night tonight, he has thrown a touchdown, but he has 4 interceptions to go along with it and has been sacked about 3 times. Nice punt, however, from Ray Hudson on 4th and 22. And that punt also taking a couple of Foothill bounces. And the ball eventually downed with 2 minutes and 49 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter at the Amador Valley 22-yard line. Both of these teams coming into tonight ranked in the Contra Costa Times East Bay football poll. Foothill came into this game ranked 11th, and Amador Valley came into this game ranked 14th. For Foothill, it was a spot better than they were the week before, tied for 12 after that win from against Livermore. They moved up 1 as Apodaca gets the carry on that run play. And for Amador Valley, they were not ranked the week before, and then they pull off that big upset win against Monte Vista, and that automatically gets them into the poll. The same goes for the Chronicle poll, which is the bigger Bay Area poll, because that takes all of the Bay Area into consideration. The Chronicle top 25, Foothill ranked 22nd, Amador Valley ranked 23rd. And here we go, 2nd and 5. And it's another run by Apodaca. Amador Valley starting to get in security mode already. Running the clock out. Still got 4th quarter left, but I can understand the way this game's going. At least the second half hasn't started too kindly for the Dons, and they want to protect that lead as best as they can. But yeah, they weren't ranked a week prior in the Chronicle poll, and then they jumped up to 23rd. I think a lot of that had to do with their win against Monte Vista, and also that win against Amador to open off the season. A big win in a lot of people's eyes. 3rd and 2 for Moreno, and Moreno gets a pass off quickly as he was hurried out of the pocket. And he completes the pass to Grant Miller. Like I said, that win against Monte Vista last week, so big for the Amador Valley Dons. Grant Miller in that game, 7 receptions for 222 yards. Unbelievable. And a handoff there to Apodaca after the first down picked up by Moreno to Miller. And Apodaca gains some yards. Yeah, Monte Vista had a 14-0 lead in that one. And then the Dons, who have done so many times, just go on these runs. And they scored 21 unanswered points. Or make that 24 unanswered points. And that's not the first time they've done it this year. They also did that the week before on October 19th against Granada. In that game, they came back from down 28-7. Moreno dropping back to pass, but once again the whistles blow. But yeah, they came back against Granada, losing 28-7. False start against the Dons on that previous play. Back them up 5. They came back from down 28-7 to make it a 34-28 victory. Miller in that game had 4 receptions for 111 yards. In the game against Livermore, they were down 6-0 at the end of the first quarter and then scored 34 unanswered on them. Ended up winning that game 34-20. Miller only 2 receptions for 19 yards in that contest. And so that is how the third quarter is going to end here in this one. It ends on that penalty. And so we will go into the fourth quarter with the hometown, or I keep saying that because most of the time schools play each other from different cities, but I should say the home team, Amador Valley Dons, as they're both in the city of Pleasanton. This is the Battle of Pleasanton rivalry tonight at its best, folks, here on KBCSports.com. And it is the home team, Amador Valley Dons, in front of their faithful on senior night, leading their haunted rivals, the Foothill Falcons, 28-17 as we go into the fourth quarter. Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. But yes, Amador Valley has really done a good job of making comebacks happen this season. That's what they're known for around the East Bay Athletic League and what they're starting to catch attention for these days. And Miller has just really came on in the last couple of weeks. 2nd and 13. And a receiver screen set up for Newman near side. Parker Newman. And there is an injured Don down on the field. And it looks to be Alejandro Apodaca, who raises his left leg in pain. Trainers on the field for Amador Valley to check him out, check out Apodaca. Normally, the rivalry end of regular season games aren't this week, but with all the scheduling having to be switched around for the new playoff games that will, or play-in games, I should say, that will take effect in between sectionals and the state bowl games, they had to start the season a week earlier. I remember I was supposed to be at the 2010 version of this rivalry, or 2009 version of this rivalry at Foothill when I was covering Amador Valley season for KBCSports.com, but my cousin's wedding prevented me from being there. A wedding which didn't really go the way that we all planned it would. 3rd and 13, and Moreno's pass over the outstretched hands of his intended target there, which was Kyle Green. In there, however, there is a flag on the field. But I was at last year's rendition, in which Foothill won. And for Foothill, their record against Amador Valley Dons, at least in the last 8 years, has been their third best record against a single opponent in the past 8 years, as they have completely beaten up on the Livermore schools first and foremost. A perfect 9-0 against Livermore and 8-1 against Granada in the past 9 matchups. Their 7-1 record against Amador Valley third. 4th and 13 now after the incompletion for Amador Valley, and they will punt the ball. And Moreno gets it off in time before it can be blocked. And this punt, which looked like it was going to bounce out of bounds, bounced near the sideline there, and then just kind of rolled around inbounds, almost similar to the Giants World Series. If you remember Gregor Blanco's bunt, everyone's thinking that's going to roll foul, but it just continued to just stay fair. The reason why I bring up that also is something I said I was going to bring up at halftime, and that being Brandon Crawford making his high school proud, the Foothill Falcons, his former school. Helped his San Francisco Giants get a World Series championship in 4 games, a 4-game sweep in which he went 3 for 12 at the plate with a walk and an RBI, 250 average, not bad. Overall, throughout the entire postseason, which was memorable in so many ways, with the Giants having elimination facing them in the first 2 rounds before the World Series, as Kearns drops back and sets up a running back screen. Make that a tight end screen to Jack Finney, who makes a catch and then blazes forward for some really, really good yardage. Moves the Falcons to their own 41-yard line instead of at their own 25-yard line. And Kearns throwing another dart, this time to the left side, and it's incomplete. Intended for Ray Hudson. Yeah, but overall, Crawford 10 for 44 in the postseason with a double, a triple, 8 singles, 7 walks, and 7 RBIs. Head coach Matt Sweeney talked about Crawford, who, even though he's a baseball standout, did play a little football at Foothill. He was a safety in his junior year in 2003, and that's when I would have played against him, but there was no real buzz. I don't remember his name being called when we played Foothill my senior year in the playoffs, the first round at NCS. 2nd and 10 for the Falcons on the 41-yard line. Kearns escaping a sack, rolling out to his left, fires a pass that goes out of the reach, intended for his target, Finney, tight end there. So it'll be 3rd and 10. And then was a quarterback in his senior season in 2004. And this is what head coach Matt Sweeney had to say about World Series champ Brandon Crawford. He said, quote, "He was the most quiet and unassuming kid you could ever imagine. You'd never guess he was an off-the-charts athlete. He was as solid as they come in every way." As far as his football career, he says he was all league there too. He was just sort of a man among boys. He ran around like Doug Flutie. He was at his best when the play broke down and could just run around. Great kid, great leader. Words coming from Matt Sweeney, who in 25 years has seen a lot of great kids and great leaders and great talent. And tonight, his talent really hasn't been there all too much for him. They have shown up in glimpses, but for the most part, Amador Valley's talent has overrode Foothill's talent. And on 3rd and 10, Kearns, who just, as a sophomore, believe me, I think this kid could be the real deal, but just tonight, maybe the stage too big for him, as he has looked nervous from the get-go. And he misses again, another wide receiver, this time completely open along the far sideline. Punt situation now in a 4th and 10. Punt nearly muffed by the Dons, but I believe the returner got down on top of the ball before it could be recovered by Foothill, and that's Justin Cruz. Brandon Crawford, in his respective sport of baseball at Foothill, had a 3-year career in which, for the varsity squad, in which he batted .357, 23 doubles, 5 triples, 9 home runs, and 51 RBIs. He was considered the sixth best prospect in Northern California coming out of Foothill. 1st and 10 for the Dons at their own 32-yard line, and shredding apart the Falcons defense this time was ball carrier Alejandro Apodaca. And Apodaca, I don't know if there's something wrong with Sam Peters. I was told that Sam Bammy Whammy Peters, or whatever they call him, they have a funny nickname for him as well. Sammy Bammy Peters. I was told he was supposed to be the main back in this Amador Valley offense, but we've really seen more of Apodaca carrying the ball tonight. 1st and 10 for the Dons after that first down pickup from Apodaca. Moreno, shotgun set, now hands the ball off. And is that Sammy Bammy Peters? It is not. It is Apodaca once again. So they're really riding the legs of Alejandro Apodaca whenever they want to run the ball tonight. A 6-yard pickup from the senior, Apodaca. 2nd and 4. 9:45 left to go in this ball game, and it's the Dons leading by 11, 28-17. Another run for Amador Valley, this time towards the left side of the field. And the ball carrier is brought down in a hurry. And it was Apodaca once again getting the carry. He does pick up 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 4. Michael K. Smith, also known as Mike on the mic, giving you the play-by-play and analysis tonight. No partner tonight, but I do have a very talented producer in Omar Lewis and a very talented videographer in Hans Webb helping me out in those aspects tonight. And Moreno, with a broken play there, took the snap. Didn't know if he really was trying to be a passer or a runner. Either way, it didn't work towards his advantage, and he was brought down for a sack. It'll be 4th and 9, and Moreno will now punt the ball away. Back deep to return the punt for Foothill is Ray Hudson. Moreno's kick, almost blocked. Hudson takes it at about his own 32-yard line and is hit immediately. Getting down there on the coverage for Amador Valley was Josh Hardy and Hawk Becker. Hawk, who has an interception tonight. And for Josh Hardy, haven't called his name much tonight. The Falcons will take to the field with 8 minutes and 9 seconds left, trying to really dramatically change this game. They're down 11. They're trying to get this margin back down to within single digits if they can. Receiver screen for Ray Hudson, sniffed out before the play even happened by the Dons. They were on that. They knew it was coming. And Ray Hudson, with his big body and size, however, still manages to pick up a yard, but it'll be 2nd and 9 only. Ball at the 34-yard line. Kearns in a shotgun set with 5 receivers. Looks down the middle of the field, and he completes to his tight end, Jack Fitty, who breaks away from a tackle effort and scores for a touchdown. Jack Fitty with the preferred pass play whenever it comes to him. Just that tight end seam route. Kyle Kearns back it up and hits his tight end. And there was about 3 tacklers in the area once Fitty made the catch. And they all could not tackle the tight end as he bounced off their tackling attempt and then just steamrolled his way into the end zone. sprinting forward for the touchdown. (28-23) is now the score, and the Falcons are going for 2 to try to make this a 3-point game. Kearns with a pro set behind him. Drops back, passes, and it is incomplete. As he looks for his tight end once again. Jack Finney towards the back of the end zone, right at the end line of the end zone. And now the Falcon fans chanting, "We're not done yet," as they have brought this lead to within 5, as it's now 28-23 to score. It's the first time that this game has had a single-digit margin between the two teams since 4:05 remaining in the second quarter. Plenty of time, so there's no need for an onside kick here for Foothill. And so Nico Caro will kick it off. He gets his jog going as he jogs up towards the ball to kick it off. Some good blocking ahead for Amador Valley. Could they get a nice return on this one? It's Justin Cruz starting from the right side of the field and angling towards the left. And Cruz will get the ball out to his own 27-yard line. 7 minutes and 25 seconds left to go in this game. And now, maybe the Dons, I'm sure they're going to try to run the ball as much as they can here and run off more clock, but Foothill's defense really stood up to the task the last time they tried to do that, the Dons on their last drive. Moreno might have to pass the ball more, and he does try to pass here on this first down attempt, but misfires for his target there, Parker Newman, on a quick receiver comeback route. Amador Valley, who has scored better than Foothill in the second and third quarters so far in the year, but Foothill, who has scored better than Amador Valley in the fourth, so maybe that's something to come, as Foothill has averaged 7 points in the fourth quarters this year, whereas Amador Valley has averaged 5.6 points in fourth quarters this year. Moreno got the snap on a shotgun, dropped back looking for something, and then ran up to take off with the ball, and Griffith Gates was there to bring him down. Griffith Gates tackles him for a loss of 3. It'll be a sack to make 3rd and 13. And so now it's Amador Valley's offense that has looked very flat here in the second half. They have not scored any points in the second half. They have thrown some interceptions. And Moreno has just not gotten a good rhythm. And you got to credit the defense for Foothill really causing the rhythm to be disrupted as Jack Finney steps in front of a deep slant route that was coming to Grant Miller. Finney had seen that all too much tonight, and this time does a good job of recognizing it, stepping in front and just batting the ball away to make for an incomplete pass and put Amador Valley in a situation where they have to punt now, 4th and 13 at their own 24-yard line. And so it's going to be the quarterback, Moreno, who's really going to have to get into this punt to help his team's cause here. Try to back Foothill up as far as he can. Instead, he skies one high. Ray Hudson will call for the fair catch. Will make the catch at the Foothill 44-yard line. And so the Falcons now, who after surrendering 21 unanswered points to Amador Valley after they kicked a field goal late in the second quarter, early in the second quarter, make it 7-3. They went into halftime trailing 28-7, and now they have scored 20 unanswered of their own here in the second half. 28-23, Isaiah Langley in motion, and they give it to him on the jet sweep. He's pushing his lineman to block in front of him, and he has some open room on the far sideline, and Isaiah Langley is pushed out of bounds, but not before picking up the first down. Like I said, what used to be a bread and butter play for Amador Valley, at least when I covered their season in 2009, they lived, breathed, and died by the fly sweep, did Rick Sears' team, the Amador Valley Dons. And now Foothill is using Amador Valley's old offensive weapon against them, and is using it at a successful rate, completing first downs and changing the complexion of this game. 1st and 10 now for the Falcons into Amador Valley territory at the AV 36-yard line. Gates with the carry. And Gates could not muster up any kind of momentum there. Took the carry, went towards the right, and was brought down quickly. Just hit the 6-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Patterson Field, Pleasanton, California. A packed house. Standing room only crowd here. They were expecting about 5,000 on hand for this one tonight. Isaiah Langley comes across. They fake the fly sweep to him, and Griffith Gates drops the fullback screen pass. Oh, boy. And he knows it. Head goes back. He is disappointed as Kearns put that one right there. And Griffith Gates, guess, was just not ready for the ball to be thrown in his direction. And Griffith Gates is not happy with himself. And reasonably so. I mean, this is a big-time player in Gates who wants to play at the next level and definitely will. You can't have mental lapses like that in a big rivalry game like this. 3rd and 10, and the crowd really getting loud now for the Don squad. And it's going to force the Foothill Falcons to take a timeout, their first timeout taken here in the second half. Actually, it's Amador Valley taking a timeout. With 5 minutes and 37 seconds remaining here in the ball game. Folks, PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events. I mean, we're doing golf, we're doing cross country. Whoever would have thought those sports would be broadcasted? Well, PlayOn Sports is taking it to the next level. We're also going to be doing some water polo. Tomorrow, I will be doing the San Francisco section boys soccer championships out at Boxer Park. I'm excited about that. Last time I called soccer was back in my days at Sac State when I was the first ever to attempt to broadcast a soccer match. And it went okay. I'm not going to say that I'm all too great at soccer broadcasting, so I'll depend on Stephen Davies for a lot of help tomorrow. But, folks, we are your comprehensive coverage of all high school playoff sports and championships events in all sports across the country. Remember, PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here. Back from the timeout break, 3rd and 10. For the Falcons at the Amador Valley 36-yard line. 4 receivers set. Kearns throws it as he's hit. And the ball is tipped away. Nice deflection there. Great coverage on Isaiah Langley, the intended receiver for Foothill. An all-go route. All the receivers just streaking down the field. And it looked as if Kearns' pass would have been on the money. But coming in at the last moment was the safety for Amador Valley, that being Grant Miller. And he just tipped that ball out of the reach of Langley just at the right time. So 4th and 10, Foothill's going for it on 4th down with ball at the Amador Valley 36-yard line. It's Kearns, and his pass is batted down. And it's Jesse Cerdas, the tank, getting into the backfield and blowing up the pass from Kearns. It was a low pass from Kearns, and Cerdas jumps up, gets his big bear-like paws on the ball, And the tank taking care of business, causing the Falcons to turn the ball over on downs. And so now the Dons have the ball back on their own 36, 1st and 10, with a 5-point lead and just over 5 minutes remaining. Fake handoff from Moreno, and then he flings one out for his receiver there, Parker Newman, who swung out to the left side of the field, and that one was way out of the reach of Newman. Almost hit the cheerleaders, who are about, 5 yards back from the field. 2nd and 10, you would think that the Dons would want to run the ball out here, run some clock off. But Foothill's defense very good against the run. They've only allowed an average of 182.9 rushing yards per contest this season. 2nd and 10, and Moreno does hand the ball off here. And it's Alejandro Apodaca once again getting his bell rung for him to take the handoff. A 5-yard pickup from Apodaca. And now the clock is within 5 minutes as it's at 4:50 left to play. Some guys coming off the field, those being Dominic Ashley and Josh Hardy. Justin Cruz comes onto the field for the Dons. Low snap there by the center to Moreno, but Moreno did gather it and then threw a dart in which he completes to Kyle Greenan. And it'll be good for a 1st down. Greenan, who did pretty well over the offseason, impressed a lot of folks at the Nike Spark Combine with the 4.3-second shuttle run. He's in the top 94th percentile with that. And also invited to a 2012 Prep Football All-American Combine in which he was a top receiver and 4th out of 227 other recruits from 15 states. And it's Moreno, the quarterback, who collects the snap and then runs with it himself towards us here in the booth near side. But yeah, Greenan with a very impressive pro shuttle run and L drill at the 2012 Prep Football All-American Combine. Ran the pro shuttle in 4.27 seconds, L drill in 6.94 seconds. And I guess there was a hold against Amador Valley on that previous play, the quarterback run. So that'll negate the yards picked up by Moreno, and it'll back the Dons up to the 50. Or actually, it'll back them up to behind the 50. The ball will be placed at their own 46-yard line. 1st and 15. Kyle Moreno, who's known more as a pocket passer according to ESPN recruiting profile set up for him. Like I said, he'll be playing college ball, Division I ranks in an Ivy League school, going to Brown University. Moreno rolling out to his right and slings one out and completes it to his receiver. And the pass is caught by Colin Blaney, I believe. A 1-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 9. Make that 2nd and 4 for the Dons with the ball at the Foothill 44-yard line. Clock now down to 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Moreno, shotgun, quick handoff. Goes to Apodaca. And so now a timeout taken with 2 minutes and 34 seconds by the Foothill Falcons. As if they can get a stop here, they want to try to preserve as much clock as possible. Folks, stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Give you a prize if you can email me with how much times I said game in that last advertisement, huh? Oh, man, this is so much fun, though. I love being here on Friday nights. Nothing like getting to catch some Friday night football and be the one to give it to you guys. Like I said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed the broadcast. It's a lot harder when you're by yourself, but I always look up to the challenge. 3rd and 4, and this could essentially be the game. First down here from Amador Valley could maybe seal the deal. Greenan makes the catch and gets the first down. And I'm not saying that the game is over yet, but Amador Valley only has, Foothill only has 2 timeouts left. 2:27. If they burn their timeouts and stop Amador Valley, they should still have enough time to get the ball back. So in all reality, it'll probably be another first down, which is really going to be the game-ending blow if Foothill surrenders a first down. Clock now at 2 minutes left in this game. Moreno, shotgun, back behind him, and the play will not get going. Penalty on the play. Delay a game called against Amador Valley. And so it'll back him up 5 yards. It'll stop the clock. And the Foothill Falcons now realizing that they're going to need to start trying to strip away, cause some kind of turnover in order to get the ball back. Because I would have to think that it's going to be a heavy dosage of run plays coming their way from here on out. And Omar Lewis agrees with me. The Dons of Amador Valley playing in front of their hometown or their home school fans known as the Pit, the Purple Pit. So far they've had a lot to cheer about tonight as Moreno hands it off to Ferrara, and Ferrara bursts ahead with steam and is still on his feet. Them legs just continue to keep moving. And now Foothill will have to call a timeout. Stopping the clock with 1:51 seconds left. Ferrara's run, good for almost 8 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd and 7 when we get back from the timeout. Trying to think of who my player of the game would be, and I have an idea. And now the Amador Valley fans chanting, "Beat the Falcons." They line up with twins here to the near side. 2 tight ends, no receiver split far out. Moreno in the shotgun with Apodaca about 3 yards behind him. And it's Apodaca with wide open room ahead of him. Some gaping holes made possible by the offensive line for Amador Valley. And Apodaca picks up the first down. And I think now it has come to a realization that the Dons will finally snap their 7-game losing skid against the crosstown rival Foothill Falcons. There's still time left, and there is a timeout for Foothill. But even if they call that timeout, a couple kneel downs will end this game. It's just a matter of this clock finally hitting zeros. Amador Valley is now going to call a timeout with a minute 25 and kind of soak it in right now. They're in that soak it in mode. Coach Rick Sear is saying ball control. We'll just kneel it down. Get in that good old victory formation for a couple plays. And boys, you'll get your win. And you know, for the seniors, this means a lot because these guys have never beaten Foothill. And they've desperately tried. I mean, these meetings have not been blowouts by any means. The largest margin of blowout, or the largest margin between the two schools, came in 2006, at least in the past 8 years. A 23-7 score, 16-point margin there for Foothill here on this field. But that's it. These teams usually always play a pretty close game against each other. The good thing for Foothill is they will still make the playoffs, even with this loss tonight. They'll be completely even overall at 5-5. They'll drop to 3-3 in league, but that's it. You just need to be 500 in either overall or league, and they have both of that. And their strength of schedule definitely favors them. And Amador Valley is going to qualify for the playoffs as they'll improve to 6-4 overall. They'll jump to 4-2 in league play. So Amador Valley will essentially jump Foothill in the playoff rankings and might even get a home game out of it. I mean, these were teams that you're looking at for the 8-9 seed or 7-8 seed. And I don't know if there's confetti that's going to come pouring down or if there's rain. A lot of people looking up to the sky. Clock ticking down to a minute 19 as Amador Valley burns their final timeout. And there's the kneel down from Moreno. About 2 more of those should get the job done. It'll be 3rd down now and 10. And Foothill's smart because they still have their timeout left. Oh, okay. They did call the last one. It's still on the board. Or actually, Foothill used theirs. Amador Valley has one left. I was looking at Amador Valley, so this should do it. One more kneel down here. And now the referees have thrown a flag onto the field. And head coach Rick Sierra is out on the field, hands on hips, and he wants an explanation of what's getting called. For Foothill, this is not the way you want to come into playoffs. This was a team that head coach Sweeney regarded at the beginning of the year as having more talent than any other team he's coached, and he's coached 25 years. Meanwhile, head coach Rick Sierra knew he had something special in this squad as well at the beginning of the year, saying these guys really are like a family. Brotherhood is very key amongst this squad this year. Third and 17, 46 seconds left. There's the kneel down. 4th and 17, and now Moreno's going to head over to the sideline. Play clock down, or game clock down to 20 seconds. Amador Valley, who at one point lost 2 games in a row to start league play, losing to Cal and San Ramon, and have since bounced back to win 4 of, well, they haven't won yet, but they have won 3. They had won 3 of their previous 4 coming into tonight in the rest of their league play. The only loss going to De La Salle, which is not really even considered an EBL team anymore. So really they've won their last 3 games against league components in Livermore, Granada, and Monte Vista. And so now the referee's saying to put the clock back to 13. It's at 10 seconds right now. Fans ready to pour out onto the field. But the game not over yet. And Moreno's going to have to really think of something here. He's going to have to run around or do something. A straight kneel down won't get the job done. It's a give to Apodaca, who is tackled with 9 seconds left. So hold on to your seats, folks. All this talk about this game being over, in the words of Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. One last play for the Foothill Falcons. Maybe 2 plays, depending on how they manage this time. If they can get a quick out route. So all that talk that I was mumbling on with just a couple seconds ago, that might be all for naught. Foothill might not have their streak snapped. I didn't think they were going to have a chance to get the ball back, but they now have the ball back. And it's Kearns looking for Anderson. There they go. Quick out route. Stops the clock with 4 seconds left. And this is going to be it. I don't think you can run off 2 plays in 4 seconds. So now they're really going to have to hope for the play to happen. And what's funny is this is almost reminiscent of the Cal Stanford, the play. I mean, you got Amador Valley's banded stuff down on their field. Just think if they rush the field and Foothill gets the score. So this is the ball game. Right now, this last play. Foothill at their own 37-yard line. 4 receivers out there on the field, including a tight end for Kearns. Kearns throws an interception. And it is going to be Kearns making the tackle on Dominic Ashley, who makes the interception, seals the deal. And the crowd will rush the field, and for reasonable cause, as their Amador Valley Dons get the win at home in the Battle of Pleasanton rivalry series between their crosstown rivals, the Foothill Falcons. They beat the Foothill Falcons for the first time in the past 8 years. They hadn't won a game in this series since 2004. And now they finally have gotten a win and snapped their 7-game losing skid as they get the final score, 28-23. It's the purple and gold that will leave home with happiness, and the blue and gold that'll leave home with sadness. And folks, we will be right back to wrap up this post-game show, or come back with the post-game show. Hasn't even started yet, but the game is done. Finally. Had us on our feet for almost all of the last fourth quarter, but it was the Amador Valley Dons finally breaking a pattern in which they were not happy with hanging around him for the past couple of years. So, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stay tuned to our PlayOnSports.com for our post-game coverage. We'll wrap up all the action in our post-game show, and we'll have an interview with our player of the game. That's coming up in just a few moments. Once again, the Amador Valley Dons defeat the Foothill Falcons by a score of 28-23 here on Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard.
Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com coverage of Friday night football. I'm joined by one of our, I went with players of the game because two players that I thought really stood out, and I couldn't just choose between one. So I was able to get both, so I have both. We're going to start with Parker Newman, a junior defensive back for the Amador Valley Dons, who had 2 touchdowns, very important touchdowns. They were the third and fourth scores of the night. The third score being a 16-yard touchdown catch, a ball that was put right there into your bucket there in the corner of the end zone, far from my reach. But then I saw you come up with it, just a fantastic catch to put you guys up 21-3. And then you had that interception, the fourth interception thrown on the night by Kearns, in which you raced all the way 67 yards to pay dirt to make it 28-3. So 2 touchdowns. And we'll kind of talk about each touchdown and what they meant to you as far as the first one, getting involved in the passing game. You're kind of like a fourth, option in the pass game. When you talk about Miller and Cruz and Greenan. But you came along and you were productive. It was a drive in which you guys were put in place together, and then you capped it off.
I mean, it was, like you said, it was a great drive, and Kyle was making plays. All the receivers were making some great plays. And, I couldn't have done it without my teammates. KG set up a great block on the side, and it was designed so that, I'd be wide open in the end zone. So.
And then, of course, take us through the interception. What you read, just seemed like you just stepped in front of a pass. It obviously looked like your defensive backs had done their homework on Kyle Kearns. Only a sophomore. You guys kind of put him in pressure early and really feasted on his mistakes.
Yeah, the whole week we were talking about just taking away the slant and the out, the 10-yard out of the sticks. And the whole time, the whole game, coaches have been telling us, watch the slant. And then, sure enough, run the slant. And then,
sure.
So Coach is putting us in a great position, and everyone is working hard watching film all week. So.
What does this victory mean to you? This is your first taste of this Battle of Pleasanton as a varsity player, but I'm sure you went through it in your JV freshman years, and of course, you've grown up with a lot of these kids out here. What does this rivalry mean to you? And now that you've won it, what does that mean?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I still can't believe it. All the fans rushing the field and stuff. Especially last year on JV, we had a really hard loss to them. So I'm speechless. It was unbelievable.
Awesome. Well, Parker, it couldn't have been done without your contributions tonight, getting the victory. You guys snapped the 7-game losing skid. Thanks for joining us. And now we'll move on to Kyle Moreno. So there we go. Kyle Moreno, pleasure to have you up here. He's our second player of the game. And, the reason why I picked you is because I felt there was a lot of questions I could ask you. First off, you did such a great job tonight in really controlling the tempo of the offense. Yeah, you only maybe had the one touchdown pass, but, you really did a good job. It seemed as if you came out tonight with a little, was there a little something extra tonight? Obviously, it's the Battle of Pleasanton. You've been a varsity starter since your sophomore year. You had lost 2 times, both games essentially knocking the Dons out of the playoffs. Just take us through those first 2 games in this Battle of Pleasanton rivalry, what they did, how the team felt. Obviously getting knocked out of playoffs and losing to your crosstown rival, that's like getting, just adding fuel to the fire. What was that like for you?
Absolutely. It was 2 tough years, especially my sophomore year. It was a tough one. I told myself I wasn't going to think about it coming in this week, but there's no way I could get it out of my mind. It was personal for me and personal for my teammates. Last year we lost a tough one. And obviously my sophomore year was tough, but we just knew all week that it was personal and we were going to take it on our shoulders this week. We knew all the fans are going to help us out, and Coach Sarah devised a great plan. We decided to spread it out a little bit instead of, last week we hit Miller all the time, and this week we were just going to spread it out, hit him with the running game. Our offensive line did a great job, and we just got it done.
Yeah, it seemed as if you were putting a little bit more mustard on your passes. I remember watching the game against Concord. I broadcast that game, and you guys kind of struggled to get things going against them offensively. But tonight, it seemed like everything was crisp. Everything was on the money as far as your passes go. You were just dialed in. And, it's kind of comparable to your sophomore year. You threw, some interceptions, and now Kyle Kearns, his first taste as a sophomore, and he throws a couple interceptions. Obviously, you get the first win tonight, your senior year, the last time you're going to get to play them in the regular season. What does the win mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, first of all, like I said, I feel for Kyle Kearns. I was in the same position. I mean, he's a hell of a player. He's going to go on to have a great career. Talking about us, though, it means the world. It means the world. We said at the beginning of the year our 2 goals were to make NCS and beat Foothill. Last year we fulfilled the first goal. Or last week we fulfilled the first goal. This week we fulfilled the second. And it just means a lot to our fans, our coaches, and most of all us. Because, I mean, we're the guys that get it done on the field. And the coaches had us ready this week, and it feels really good.
Well, that's awesome, man. We wish you the best of luck going into the NCS playoffs. You guys look like you might get a home game out of this as well from beating Foothill, so that's the payoff. Get to play in front of the Dawn squad and the Purple Pit and the great crowd atmosphere that you guys have here at home. And you know, you showed not only that you're bright on the field, but bright off the field, man. Congratulations in your scholarship to Brown, and we wish you the best of luck if we don't cover an NCS game of your guys' this season. So, folks, give it up for Kyle Moreno as well. That's going to conclude our Player of the Game interviews. I'll be back to wrap up the quick post-game, and then we'll get out of here from the campus of Amador Valley High School. But once again, they are victorious, and it couldn't have been done without our players of the game, along with the whole team. It really is a team effort. You guys kind of remind me of the San Francisco Giants kind of coming together as one, a nice big family. And it is the Dons taking care of business, snapping the 7-game losing skid, and beating their crosstown rivals, the Foothill Falcons, in the Battle of Pleasanton rivalry game by a final score of 28-23 in front of their hometown fans. Yeah, thank you, and have fun partying, guys. Enjoy it.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
And the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. I'm Michael K. Smith, and we just saw the Amador Valley Dons finally snap that losing skid against their crosstown rivals, winning 28-23 was the final, and they got some good running throughout the night. They really had everything kind of going for them. They had a little bit of passing, a little bit of running, and of course the defense. It really came through. The main story tonight was the interceptions, the takeaways from Amador Valley. They caused 5 interceptions on the night, taking 2 of those 5 interceptions for touchdowns, and that was the big story. They had that first interception on the first drive of the game from Foothill, take that back for 6, and that kind of just continued the momentum that Amador Valley would carry on throughout the rest of this game. Second half, they weren't so sharp offensively, but they already had a big enough padded lead, and they did enough to hold on to that lead, and it was really a team effort tonight. It really, I mean, I could have given the Player of the Game award to anybody, the offensive line, defensive line, but a lot of guys stepped up tonight, but they just all played as a team, and you got to credit Foothill for not giving up. I mean, down 28-3, anytime a team's down with that kind of margin, they could just cave in at halftime, but they fought hard. And that's what you're supposed to do in a rivalry game. Never say die. And as head coach Matt Sweeney of Foothill would always say, he gets into battles. Every game in the East Bay Athletic League is a fist fight, and it sure was tonight. And you got to love Kyle Moreno, the quarterback who started since he was a sophomore and had his struggles in the rivalry game. And tonight bested a sophomore quarterback for Foothill's right who had some struggles tonight. And Moreno really looked good and played the part. And now both teams will go into playoffs, one on a losing note, one on a winning note. and we'll see what that means for both squads. We'll see if Amador Valley can keep their momentum rolling through the North Coast Section playoffs, and if Foothill can somehow transform into that talented team that head coach Matt Sweeney said he had at the beginning of the season. So, folks, that's going to wrap it up and put a close to all the festivities here from Patterson Field on the campus of Amador Valley High School in Pleasanton, California. We'd like to thank you for joining us in this coverage of the Battle of Pleasanton, in which the Amador Valley Dons did win 28-23. And so for everyone involved, well, first be sure to check PlayOnSports.com for information and links to all of our upcoming games and broadcasts. And so for everyone involved, Omar Lewis, who is our producer tonight, Hans Webb, our videographer, and yours truly, play-by-play and analyst tonight, Michael K. Smith, also known as Mike on the mic, we'd like to say sayonara. Have a great night, a great weekend, and thank you for joining us on our coverage here on PlayOnSports.com. We hope that you'll join us next Friday night right here on PlayOnSports.com, as I'm sure we'll be out in some kind of playoff game, whether it's Sac Joaquin section, North Coast section, Central Coast section. We've got you covered here in the state of California, so look for that. We will have a game to broadcast next week. Can't wait to be there for that. We also have a soccer game tomorrow, boys championship out in the city. Look for me and Stephen Davies on the call. Can't wait out at Boxer Park between the Mission Bears and the Lowell Cardinals. Should be a really good, entertaining championship. So, folks, please remember to stay tuned to PlayOnSports.com. Why? Because it's your destination for high school sports.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.